Hello viewers, Flash Motorsport here and welcome to Spa. We're in the MG and I've chosen to go for hard tyres. Spa is quite a long track, it's a long race. Well, it's classified as a medium race, but it is quite a long race in itself. But Spa is quite hard on the tyres. Coming down to the first corner, we brake at the 50 board on the left hand side, down to first gear, and I'll go around the outside and not get punted off the track, but that Honda did. And I miss all the chaos. Yes, it's a slower line, but I try and keep away from all the shenanigans on the inner part of the first corner. Coming down to the fast bit here, I've got to take my time. I'm hard tyres, everybody else is on mediums, so I don't have the grip they all have, but I do have a much better exit out of that little bit there. As we pass the Audi, I can hear the MG on my left hand side, so we'll give it a check where he is. Keep my eye out on where they are. I do have the better line for the next corner coming up. I have the inside line. I have a feeling the MG is going to cut across as well. But keep as tight as I can, and just a little love tap there. Coming around in third gear, powering on, taking the inside line, wanted to try and beat the Link. The Mercedes brakes a little bit on the corner, wasn't expecting it, and I ended up going to the back of him. Luckily enough, it was only a little love tap, so no harm, no foul. Coming down to the next corner, I get out braked and go off the track nearly, just about to save it, and Uzi Wuzzy takes the 14th place away from me. Keeping the inside line, into third gear, powering on, and battling down this next straight section here. I have no idea how we all managed to do this, but we all managed to miss our braking point for this corner here, and decide to all go off track together. At least I'm not on my own on this one, but come on Flash, your standards are better than this, you can do better than this, and I need to remember I am not on the same tyres as they are, so I need to plan earlier, brake earlier, turn earlier and slower, not try and keep up solely with the pack and make these stupid little mistakes that I'm making. As we come down to our next corner, braking down the third gear on the outside and coming on the inside, rub the grass a little bit, it'll be fine, but power on a bit more than I just did and you can go into the outside curb. But whilst you're running the outside curb, come back onto the inside of this curb. I didn't do it fast enough, and as you can see I lost a few tenths of a second. I could have been much closer to the pack in front than I am right at this moment. Coming around this curve here, going to the right hand side, rub that white line, let off and bring it back in. I noticed if I kept the power on I went straight over off the track, and there's nothing I could do about that. You don't want to get a penalty for going off the track for the sake of just letting off the throttle and putting it back on and sacrificing a couple of miles per hour. We all get a little bit close here and touch each other. No harm, no foul. Everybody's back on and straight line again. Coming out those two corners we've just been through, make sure you're in second gear. First gear you seem to get a lot of wheel spin. Second gear, yes, you're not in the power band, but you do have better grip. Again, braking just before the 50 board, down in second gear, turning in. Purple re-enters the race and lucky enough doesn't take anybody with him. As we're going down the straight, everybody's starting to line up, have a good bit of gap between each other, so this shouldn't be too chaotic. As we're heading down to Eau Rouge, we go to our right hand side, onto the left, back over to the right. We do lose a bit too much speed, and then the car behind goes into the back of me. Lucky enough, I don't lose control of the vehicle, keep it in control, but I do lose a place. On the upside though, I am behind a vehicle that is quite fast. The Link is quite a fast car, but I'll get to be in the tow of it. Looking on our left hand side for the 100 board, braking down to third gear, over to the right hand side, rub the curb and then coast over to the curb on your left hand side. Again, power on as you come out the turn, and then braking down to about 70 miles per hour again, and the Mercedes get bumped off track. I decide it's my moment to make a move, go up the inside of the Link, and I hang it a bit wide. He does no switcheroo and then gives me a little door nudge. I decide it's not really the best of times to try and put a bit of fight up and lose more time from the pack in front. I'm too far down the list as it is, and I want to work with CW to try and gain a bit of time back from the cars in front. As we come around this corner here in fourth gear, swing it out to the right hand side and then power on and keep your foot in it all the way around. You can do this corner here flat out. Keeping to the left hand side, you see a gantry coming up. That's your next braking point. Braking down to third gear. Take your time going through these S's. Try and maximize the track as much as you can. As you can see, I'm being held up surprisingly by the Link. I'm not sure what's going on, if it's just off pace or being a bit more cautious. As we come through here, it's very slow. You can take this corner here, come out into the outside curb you see on the left hand side, and then come round here flat out. But he decided not to. I don't know why. He was quite off pace going through there. So in my infinite wisdom, I decided to play a little game. I'll go up the outside of him here and force him to not have the best kind of line coming through this next tight corner here. I force him on the inside, I let off and dive in, and I think he must have kept his foot down because he went wider than expected. After this gantry on the left hand side, there's a 150 marker. That is your braking point for this corner here. Not the Mercedes braking point though. The Mercedes braking point is clearly a car. Their turning angle is clearly a car. And coming out of a turn, they have to hit a car to make sure they've hit that car for 3 times. As we pass over the start finish line, looking on our left hand side for the 150 marker. There it is. Start braking down a second gear, turn in and clip this curb. I have a much better exit to the other 2 cars. The Mercedes bumps the link out the way, and I come down here much faster than everybody else. Wanting to not get into the chaos of everybody, I just skipped my toe right in it. Thought I'm going to brave it once, see what happens, and it worked out quite well. The link gets pushed off track and the Mercedes burns a lot of time. As we come down the Kemmel Straight, you can see it's 1 second behind. I have a much quicker car and then not in the tow of me. As we end lap 4, I decided it's a good time to go into the pits. My tyres are doing alright, but I want to have 2 laps on the soft and try and make back a bit of time. As you can see, I'm in P9, and that's only because everybody pitted on lap 3, end of lap 3 for lap 4, and put another set of mediums on. I'm going for a different strategy. I'm going hard to soft, so soft tyres, skip fueling, don't need none of that. Coming out of the pits, we are in P15. It's not too bad place to be, considering all the carnage and everything that ensued at the beginning of the race, and not having the most optimal tyres. So hopefully with the better tyres, as everybody else will be on medium still, besides Carlito, I think he went for softs as well, because he pitted at the same time as me. So I don't know what their strategy is, whether it's the same as mine. As you can see, we're coming down the Kemmel Straight, really catching everybody up, which is brilliant. Carlito makes a move and gets side doored by this MG. I'm not going to make a move. I'm not going to risk myself. I don't want to get rammed off track again. As we come into Brussels, I look at what's going on. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see who's going to win out of this corner here. Looks like the link went off track. The Audi slams into the side of me. He obviously wasn't expecting me to be there. And the MG takes the position again. So they're chopping and changing around, and I'm stuck back here watching it all unfold. I'm not grumbling, to be honest, because I am conscious about my tyres. I know the mediums can do 2 to 3 laps, and I'm a bit worried that the softs won't be able to do as much. So I'm also thinking about tyre saving, and is it worth the risk to scrub my tyres for an overtake like Carlito is, for example. He's going in quite deep into that corner there and took that position. I'm more of a person that's going to go, right, we're on a straight, I have a better exit and I'm going to make it work. As we come round these last few corners here before we go in the fast back end bit of the track, I don't have the best of exits, but I do have the slipstream, and I'll go up the outside of this MG here. It does defend the corner a little bit, and I do go on the grass, but good of him to back out as he did. I do make a slight mistake here. I don't turn in early enough, I don't let off long enough, and I get caught up in a bit of wash. But I don't lose the position, but I gain a 1 second penalty for track violation because I did go off track and I kept my foot in it. As we overtake this Mercedes, that seems to be very slow out of the corner. The issue is this corner coming up now, I get distracted and I mess it right up. So I'm going to apologise right now to Carlito because this is how it happens. Totally missed my braking point and I forget to press the start button earlier, so I ghost out of the way of him. It was just bad. Anyway, we come back on track, I come out of ghost and I lose 3 positions. So down to P14 now. Annoying as it is, I should not have messed that corner up. I should not have got distracted. I have no idea what distracted me. I just totally binned it. But lucky we're on the soft tyres. I can go through here flat out and try and make a bit of time back. I got a 1 second penalty. I want to try and get past Elroy and the Mercedes. and I'm catching up like anything. So that's a position gained already. Coming down the Camel Straight, braking at the 100 board, down the third gear. I can carry a little bit more speed than I did. I've probably been a bit more cautious because of my earlier mess up. Come on, man, pull yourself together, you can do it. As we approach Brussels again, I decided to keep on the left hand side and missed the apex as well. I brake too late, got too confident with the tyres, but I don't lose that position, luckily enough. I am making a little bit of time back on the group in front. They're 4.7 seconds ahead of me. It is a long track, and if them two are fighting, that gives me the opportunity to try and catch up. Now we're down to 4.6 seconds. I'm hanging on the outside line, powering right on now, and keep on the inside of this corner here. 5.1 seconds. I could have done something better back there. So obviously they did and I didn't. The issue I'm having now is I'm overdriving the car to compensate for the time I have lost, and this is the result of me overdriving the vehicle. It's very hard to try and keep your cool or composure while you've messed up and you're trying to gain back the time you messed up. You know you're not going to get it back, but in your head you're like, yeah, I can do it, I can do it. You got to try and outthink yourself of that stupid mindset you have. We're coming down this back end now. First place has obviously just gone over the track, so we haven't got much time left. Keep my foot in it, take it wide, and then cut in. I have a much better line through here. Just missed the apex a little bit, and only have to let off very slightly. So obviously the soft tyres are much quicker. Braking again a little bit later than 100 board, and I almost overcook it. Almost. I think I was sweating at that point. I was like, oh dear, not again. But we crossed the line in P13. And again, sorry Carlito, that was my bad. Heading over to Silverstone now. This is a short race, so it's not many laps involved in it. One set of medium tyres will do it, and I qualified for P2. Some of you eagle-eye viewers may notice that I have no gears or speed on my dashboard or on the right hand side. No idea what that was about. It was there in qualify, it was there in practice. Didn't want to be there in the race. As we come down to the next corner here, braking at halfway over this curve here, braking now down the second gear, or I presume it's going to be second gear. P1 goes off, P3, P4, and I have a few left behind, which gives me P1. Now if I finish in P1 position, that's got to be worth hitting that subscribe button. As we're looking out for the 200 board on our right hand side, 4, 3, 2, braking down to third gear. Rub the inner curb. I come in a little bit hot. I'm unable to know my speed, but it's just a case of judging, a trial and error. Look out for the last pink pad on the right hand side and power back on. Again, I'm coming in a little bit hot, so I don't power on as soon as I should. As we cross over the start finish line again, keep it to our left hand side. I'm making a good bit of gap from the vehicles behind me. 1.2 seconds. I can't go like that. Braking at the 200 board down to about 95 miles per hour. And in fourth gear across onto the right and left hand side. As we're coming down to our next corner, braking halfway over the sausage, there we go, down to second gear and take the inner curve. As soon as you pass over, power back on and come down this back straight. Well, yeah, back straight. Keep it to our right hand side. I'm now 2.4 seconds from the vehicles behind. Rub the grass. And braking at the 200 board, I come in a little bit hot, rubbing that grass. My tyres are a bit dirty and sort of misjudge it, but I don't lose too much time for the vehicles behind it. There's a couple of attempts and I take this corner much better, as you can see now. Much better plan, much better judged, and I haven't got the pressure of the vehicles being as close as they were last lap. So we're going to skip forward now to the final lap, as the rest of this race was quite uneventful. So as you can see, I'm still in P1. They have gained a little bit of time on me. I did make a few slight errors, I would say, and misjudging some of the corners of my own speed. Just like that one there. My tyres are wearing a bit thin, but we do keep them at bay. Braking in here, down to second gear, taking it nice and tight. Coming over here, powering back on as soon as possible, and you get a better run down this back straight. 1.8 seconds from the car behind. I am half a second off my best time. I am well off pace. but tyres as well as not knowing how fast I'm going and what gear I'm in is quite a contribution to that situation. Powering out this corner now, trying not to power on too early. My tyres are worn. I don't want to skid off track and gain myself a penalty unnecessarily. We crossed the finish line, P1. Yes, go me, and we won the race. Thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.